Hey, if your wife is pulled away, said that she needs space, or flat out said that she's done, stop scrolling and stop trying to search around for other videos. Most men get this next step completely wrong. Today, I'm going to show you how to make her feel safe, seen, and pull her back in fast. This isn't about begging, buying gifts, or blowing up her phone. It's about becoming the type of man that she actually wants to be close to again. Hey, my name is Noah Allen, and I work with entrepreneurs, executives, and men who lead in business, but feel like they're losing at home. So if that's you, stay with me because I'm going to explain why she pulled away, how to rebuild her trust and desire, and what you must avoid if you want a chance at real reconnection. So if you're watching this and thinking, this is me, I need help fast, then pause this video, go down to the link below, and book a free clarity call with us. It's not therapy, it's a customized action plan for men who want to get results, not guesswork. So let's talk about what actually goes wrong for most men when their marriage starts to fall apart, because there's a lot here. Because 9 times out of 10, what feels like the right move is actually the worst one. See, when the woman they love pulls away, most guys go one of 3 directions. The first, they try to reason with her. They say things like, can we just talk about this? I want to understand. I get it now. I'll change. They think if they just say it right, she'll relax. But that doesn't work. Because when she's emotionally flooded, logic feels like pressure. The second thing, they give her space. Now, this one sounds mature, right? Okay, she needs room to think. I'll back off. And sure, space can help if it's done with leadership. But most guys give space from a place of fear. Not confidence space, it's disconnected space. Let me give you an example. I worked with a guy, we'll call him Mike, CEO of his company, 6 kids, high pressure life. His wife came to him and said, I love you, but I'm not in love with you anymore. I need space. Now, Mike loved her. He didn't want to mess things up, so he backed off. He gave her what she asked for. He moved into the guest room. Stop initiating conversations. Stop showing affection. He thought, she just needs time. She'll come back when she's ready. But 3 weeks later, she sat him down and said, I've been feeling so alone, and the space just confirmed that we're done. See, he gave her physical distance, but without emotional leadership, it felt like abandonment. He meant well, but it backfired. The third thing that most men get wrong, some men going into overdrive mode. They send flowers, they write long messages, they become overly helpful, they apologize every single day, and even though it looks loving on the surface, it starts to feel like begging. Here's the hard truth. None of these responses create safety. Not logic, not silence, not gifts or grand gestures, because the real reason she left wasn't just one big fight. It wasn't even the worst thing you said. It was an accumulation, the constant walking on eggshells, which is the worst thing that you can do. Walking on eggshells literally destroys safety and security, destroys loving and belonging. It destroys that tribe of trust, okay? I tell my clients, sometimes you have to step on those eggshells. Sometimes you have to have those tough conversations. The feeling of never being heard, the pattern of being dismissed, minimized, or emotionally alone. This is what I call the invisible pressure. And over time, that pressure builds up until she tells herself, it's not that I don't care. It's that I can't keep hoping anymore. It's not safe for me to stay vulnerable with him, so I have to pull back before I lose myself. And it's not that she wants to give up. It's that giving up starts to feel safer than holding on. Imagine a bridge between 2 cliffs. That bridge is how she gets emotionally close to you. Now, over time, if that bridge keeps swaying, if it creaks when she steps on it, if it starts falling apart in the middle, she stops crossing it. Not because she doesn't want to connect, but because she doesn't trust it to hold her weight anymore. Now, most men, they stand on their side and they yell across the canyon, "I miss you. Come back. I am better now. Just trust me." But that bridge still feels unstable. If you want her back, you don't call her over. You rebuild the bridge, brick by brick. You become the man who can hold her weight again, not with words, but with emotional consistency. So let me ask you this. If your wife has said she's done, could it be because she doesn't feel like hope is safe anymore? If so, don't panic, because this next part of the video is going to show you how to start rebuilding that bridge, how to re-earn her trust without pressure, and get the flow of connection working again. Let's go there next, which is right now. All right, so now let's talk about the real turning point, the shift that moves you out of panic mode, okay, and into momentum, which is one of your best tools that you can have. If you want to rebuild hope, if you want to reattract her, there is one thing that changes everything. It's not a perfect apology. It's not saying all the right things. It's not even proving that you've changed. It's making her feel, and I mean genuinely feel, okay, emotionally safe again. And that's just one of the pillars of safety, but that's the main pillar of safety. And I want you to picture your relationship like a plumbing system, okay? Over time, the system gets clogged. Years of tiny leaks, miscommunications, stress, fights, silent treatments, moments where she felt dismissed, misunderstood, shut. That pain, that emotional pressure, it didn't just disappear. It built up like a clog in the pipes. Slowly, invisibly, till one day, nothing flows anymore. That's when most men show up here. Now imagine this. You go to turn the faucet back on, not because you asked her to come back, but because you finally started showing up differently. More grounded, more calm, more present. You stopped trying to fix her pain and started holding space for it. That's when the pipe starts to open back up again. But here's what most men don't expect. When you turn on a faucet that hasn't been used in years, what's the first thing that comes out? It's not crystal clear water, that's for sure. It's rust. Brown, murky, gunky water. Maybe even a screech of pressure. Then sputtering. Then more rust. That doesn't mean the faucet is broken. It means the pressure is finally being released. And the same thing happens in your marriage. The moment your wife starts to feel safe again, the moment she senses you might actually be able to handle her truth, that's when she'll test it. She might vent, cry. She might unload years of resentment. Not calmly, that's for sure. Not neatly. Okay, it's never neat. This is very messy. It won't sound like, "Hey, thank you for showing up better. I now feel ready to reconnect emotionally." It sounds more like, "Why are you only changing now? I don't believe you. I've carried this weight alone for years, and now you want a cookie or a gold star for showing up differently?" And that moment right there, that's not rejection, just far from it. It's a test. She wants to know, can you handle all of me this time? Or are you just being nice because you want something from me again? She's wondering, will you shut down the minute I show you my pain? Will you turn this into a debate again? Will I end up confronting you from my own trauma? If she can't express this stuff, the pipes stay clogged. Because if she can, and you don't flinch, you open the door to something new. Let me give you an example. I had a client once. We'll call him Carlos. His wife hadn't looked him in the eyes in over a month. They were sleeping in separate rooms. She had emotionally checked out. He came into heroic husband method thinking, just tell me what to say. I need the right words. But what he learned was how to become safe again, not just on the surface, but in how he held her emotions. 3 weeks in, she sat him down and said, "I still don't trust this, but I need to tell you how alone I felt for the last 10 years. She cried. She shouted. She told him how exhausted she was, being the only one that was fighting for the emotional connection. And instead of defending himself, instead of explaining how he didn't mean to make her feel that way, he sat there, breathed, and said, I get it. And I don't blame you for feeling that way. And I'm not going anywhere. You can keep sharing as long as you need. That moment didn't fix everything, but it changed everything. It was the first drop of clean water in that pipe. So here's the takeaway. If she's venting, testing, challenging you with hard truths, that means she still cares enough to test your capacity. It means she might still be emotionally invested, even if she's trying not to be. So don't panic. Don't beg. Don't shut down. Lead with calm. Breathe. Be solid. Because when she sees that the new you is real and not just a temporary mask, that's when hope returns. That's when her heart starts to wonder, maybe this isn't over after all. And this is when reconnection begins. All right, this is where most men get stuck. If you're watching this thinking, I've told her I've changed. I keep saying she can trust me. I'm doing everything I can. I hear you. But I need to be direct with you right now. You can't say you're safe. You can't tell her to trust you. It's basically saying, trust me, bro. You can't ask her to believe you because emotional safety doesn't come from words. It comes from how she feels, right? How she feels when she's around you. Let me ask you something. Have you ever laid in bed at night, exhausted, desperate to fall asleep, and the harder you tried, the more awake you felt? That's how emotional safety works. You can't force someone to feel it. And the more you try to make her feel safe with words or pressure, the more unsafe she actually feels. Because here's what's happening under the surface. She's not listening to what you say. She's watching how you respond when things are tense, when she's emotional, when she's distant, when she shares something hard. That's when she's watching for the truth. I once worked with a guy, we'll call him Eric. His wife told him, I don't feel like I can talk to you about anything anymore. It always turns into a debate. So what did he do? He sat her down and gave her a long, heartfelt speech. He said things like, you can trust me now. I've done the work. I've learned how to listen. It sounded great. But 2 days later, she brought up something small. And he got a little bit defensive. He didn't yell. He didn't curse. But his face definitely tightened. His voice changed. His energy shifted into that old edge that she knew all too well. He said he was safe, but his body said, here we go again. That's what she felt. And that's what stuck. So what does real safety look like? You don't prove safety through speech. You prove it through your body language when she brings up something hard, your tone of your voice when she's emotional, how you handle pressure, not just when you're calm, but when you're triggered, and most of all, what you don't say when you feel misunderstood. I want you to imagine she's a storm. Lightning, wind, chaos, a lot of it. Emotion. Your job isn't to stop the storm, isn't to outrun it, and definitely not to lecture it. Your job is to be the mountain. Still, present, grounded. The mountain doesn't yell at the sky. It doesn't panic when the wind picks up. It doesn't try to control the storm. It holds. That's safety. So when your wife says, I don't know if I can trust this, or you're just going to say this to get me back, don't try to prove anything. Just keep showing up as the mountain. Let your consistency speak louder than your words. Because over time, she'll stop looking at your mouth and start watching your patterns. Imagine this. You're a woman who's been emotionally shut down for months, maybe years. You've begged for connection. You've explained what you needed. You've tried everything to be heard. And now suddenly your husband is changing. He's calmer, more patient. He says he understands. But then one morning you mention how lonely you felt. And he interrupts. He gets quiet. Or worse, he just turned it into a story about his stress. How would that feel? Would it feel safe to keep opening up? Or would it confirm your fear that it's just a performance? This is why becoming safe, not sounding safe, is the shift. So here's your challenge. When she brings heat, can you bring calm? When she shares pain, can you stay steady? When she tests you, can you pass with grace? If you can, she'll start believing you again. Not overnight, but over time with consistency. She starts to feel like maybe, just maybe, this time is different. And that, my friend, is when trust begins to rebuild. Okay, so you've made it this far in the video, and you're starting to see the deeper truth. She didn't fall out of love overnight, and you're not going to win her back with a big emotional speech or a Hail Mary weekend getaway. Trust me, that's not going to do that. If you want her to fall back into the relationship willingly, genuinely, and for real, you need to create 4 key ingredients. And this is the exact framework we teach inside the Heroic Husband Method. So let's break it down. Ingredient 1, strong seeds. This is where most guys put all their focus. They try to show her that they've changed. They send her long texts. They talk about how they're working on themselves. They keep saying, I'm different now. But here's the thing. Words don't plant seeds. Your consistent being does. You want her to feel something shift. You want her to see you differently. Those old patterns, you want them to be broken. Not just hear it, okay? That means showing up calmly in conversation, holding space when she's upset, making confident decisions without being aggressive. When you show up like that consistently, not perfectly, she starts to feel it. And that creates curiosity. She starts to think, wait, who is this man? This doesn't feel like the same energy I pulled away from. And that curiosity, that is the very beginning of re-attraction. Ingredient number 2, scarcity of bad seeds, or what we call the negative mind virus. This is where most men slip. They start showing good changes, but then one bad day, one reactive moment, one defensive response, and boom, she sees the old you come out. And here's what you need to understand. She's not looking for perfection, but if she starts thinking, this is just a phase, he's going to flip the moment I open back up, then all that progress resets. You can't keep planting good seeds and then toss in a couple bad ones. That's like watering a garden while dumping weed killer on it at the same time. You need to show restraint to the hard moments. Don't defend when she brings up pain. Don't spiral when she's cold. Don't react when she tests your tone or your motives. Remember, every moment is either building trust or breaking it. Now, ingredient 3 is pure freedom. This one is powerful and rare. She needs to feel like it's her decision to come back. No pressure, no guilt, no subtle manipulation. Let me say this clearly. If she even feels a hint of obligation, if she feels like you're waiting for her to give in, or that she owes you another chance because you're doing everything right, she will resist even harder. But if she feels free, that's when she starts to choose you again. One of my clients, we'll call him David, was desperate, we'll say the least. His wife had moved out. She said she needed space. She wasn't responding to texts. She told him, stop trying to fix me, which is another red flag. You should not be trying to fix your spouse. I just want to breathe. Now, most guys would either go dark and give up or try to force reconciliation. But David didn't do either. He didn't chase. He didn't disappear. He stayed steady. He sent a short message once a week, never asking for anything. He worked on himself. He posted pictures of him taking the kids to the park. He journaled every night instead of venting to her. He stayed present without pressure. 4 weeks later, she texted him, I've been watching, and they're always watching. I don't know what's happening, but I'm seeing something I haven't felt in years. Not because he chased her, but because he released her. And in that release, she saw a man worth leaning into again. Now, ingredient number 4 is time. This is the hardest one. You can't rush trust. You can't pull on a tree to make it grow. You can't fast track healing. And you definitely can't shortcut desire. Think about it like this. Imagine you plant a seed in the ground. You water it, nurture it, you care for the soil, but then day after day, you dig it up to see if the seed's grown yet. What happens? The roots never take hold. That's what a lot of men do in their marriage. They start doing the right things. Then they constantly ask, are we good yet? Are you ready to come back? Did you notice what I did today? That pressure, it's like yanking the seed out of the soil. Your job is to tend to the soil, not force the bloom. Stay grounded, stay patient, keep leading quietly, confidently. Over time, she'll feel the safety. She'll feel the difference, and she'll remember what it feels like to be close to you. Now, this is especially important because too many people listen to advice out there that has nothing to do with the stage of their relationship and what it's in. And because of that, there's been a weakening of the family unit, and there has been a weakening of the masculine. Now, men aren't weak, but they have been weakened over time, especially the last 100 years. And that's why over here at the Heroic Husband, we are all about the family unit and making the family stronger, one person at a time. What we talk about here are universal truths. Obviously, I talk about them in a masculine light, but these are truths that everybody can understand about a relationship. I not only go through with it with my wife and my kid, but now we're making sure that we build everybody up, because the measure of a great society, the measure, I would argue, of a great world is how strong relationships are, how strong the family unit is. And when you see the family unit weaken, you see a lot of negative repercussions happen. Most of the worst people of society all come from a single parent household where there was a divorce and there was a degradation of that family unit. That's what we're doing over here at the Heroic Husband. We are rebuilding families and relationships, one person, one family at a time. We're going to lower that divorce percentage by even just 1%. If I can die with just 1% of that divorce percentage lowered, then I know I've done some good in this world, right? We've done some great things with our mission over here. But our main mission is to build relationships back better, to build the whole society, because as the relationships get stronger, a society gets stronger, and the world gets better as a whole. And that's why it's important to understand that you can't just listen to advice that's about dating or about new relationships. No, when it comes to your marriage, the way that you lead now is going to be completely different than the way that you first led when you guys got together, okay? And that's why these 4 ingredients, strong seeds, scarcity of bad seeds, pure freedom, and time, they don't just bring her back. They rebuild the foundation. And when you do them right, she won't just stay, she'll choose you again. Not just because she's supposed to, but because she wants to. So if you want help building these 4 ingredients in your marriage, click the link below and book a free clarity call with us. Let's talk about your specific situation, what's working, what's not, and how you can start leading from a place of calm, quiet confidence. Because she doesn't need pressure. She needs a man she can trust again, and we'll help you become that. So if you're watching this and thinking, this sounds exactly like my situation, I've tried the nice guy thing, the space thing, even the working on myself thing, right? Which a lot of people are way too passive. We're very active over here, but nothing's shifting. Then I want to talk directly to you. If you want help building those 4 ingredients the right way, without guilt, without chasing, without falling into another emotional trap. See, trying to fix your marriage without a plan is like trying to navigate a forest with no compass. You take a few steps in one direction, you second guess it, you double back, you follow advice from different YouTube videos, but after weeks or months, you're still lost. You're exhausted, disoriented, and worst of all, you're losing time. Your wife isn't waiting forever for you to figure it out. That's why we created the Heroic Husband Clarity Call. It's a free one-on-one call where my team and I walk you through a customized plan for your marriage. We don't do cookie cutter advice. This isn't therapy, and it's not about trying to convince her of anything. It's about building a plan around 3 things: your exact situation, the emotional pattern that's keeping her disconnected, what she actually needs to feel safe, curious, and pulled back in again. One guy I worked with, his name is Brian. He came in thinking he just needed a better apology. He had read every book, including ours, watched every video, tried to be positive and patient while his wife iced him out. But what he really needed was clarity. He needed to stop guessing. After the call, he sent me this message 2 weeks later. For the first time in months, she told me she feels me more differently. She's not looking at me with suspicion anymore. She's softening. That shift didn't happen because he chased harder. It happened because he had a plan and he led it. So listen, if your wife is pulling away, if she says she doesn't feel anything anymore, if you're stuck in limbo wondering whether to speak, give space, or walk away, don't guess. You need clarity. You need a proven path. You need to start leading again. So if you're ready to stop winging it and actually lead this thing the right way, click the link below. Book your free Heroic Husband Clarity Call. Let's build that roadmap for Reconnect, one that's based on emotional safety, not scripts or stunts. And we'll talk soon. You've got this.